I believe in our human capacity to care deeply and to act collectively. I believe in our ability to do what is right if we let ourselves feel it in our hearts.
My name is Elizabeth Wathuti. I am an environmentalist and a young climate justice advocate. My home county is Nyeri, Tetu constituency, and I am the founder of the Green Generation Initiative that focuses on nurturing young people to love nature and to be environmentally conscious. And I am also a global climate justice champion. That means that I take the work that I do on the ground, at the grassroots, to advocate on the global stage and to influence policy on a global scale. And I also serve as a civil society and youth representative at the Nairobi Rivers Commission, and just recently was appointed to join the Global Commission on the Economics of Water. And I work with a lot of young people across our continent in Africa as well through the Wangari Maathai Youth Hub, and that's just part of the work that I do.
Together, we can change the course of history. Thank you so much.
On a scale of 1 to 10 on how excited I am about life, I think I would say 8. The soundtrack to my life right now would be It's a Beautiful Year. Why? Because I think it's a really exciting year and I always like to motivate myself. I always like to remind myself that I have so much ahead of me to achieve. So every day for me is a learning day. Every day for me is a day next to, it's a day towards what I want to achieve. So I'm excited. The exact moment I realized that my passion and purpose was to actually address environmental challenges and combat climate change was actually an interesting time when I visited a forest where I had planted my first tree when I was really young. And I went to the forest curiously to just see how the tree was doing. So I get to this forest, it's actually a forest in Nyeri County. And when I got there, I remember feeling very sad and frustrated, finding tree logs of trees that had been cut down and the forest was deforested. And I thought to myself, this forest never used to be this way when I was studying. So I think at that moment, that frustration for me, and I keep saying, it gave me a hunger to want to do something about problems like deforestation. It gave me a hunger to do something about any environmental challenge. Seeing people throwing trash out of car windows was also something that frustrated me a lot then until now. So for me, it was a moment that I realized that I have to do something about these challenges. I have to do something about climate change. I have to do something about deforestation. I would say the late Professor Wangari Maathai has had a lot of influence in my life. Number one, because she has really inspired my life like many other people around the world. Her work was exemplary, and in fact, when I had a chance to plant my first tree, at the age of 7. That was the time when she was the member of parliament in my constituency in Tetu. And I think that was a seed that was planted in me to keep doing good to Mother Earth, to keep doing good to the environment. And also when I kept on conserving the environment, when I kept on doing various projects to address climate change, I won the Wangari Maathai Scholarship Award in my first year at the university. That was Kenyatta University, where I was also pursuing a bachelor's degree in environmental studies and community development, all out of passion. So I would say it has really been impactful, and I'm also really happy to acknowledge mentors within my space, like her daughter, Wangari Maathai, who has also been really impactful to my life, and I would say that has continued to really inspire my journey in various ways, and I'm grateful. The Green Generation Initiative is an initiative that I founded in 2016. I remember I was still in the university, and this was the time when I had just joined, and I had also just enrolled and become a member of the executive of the Kenyatta University Environmental Club. I wanted to find a space and a place where I would contribute positively to conservation. So founding this initiative, I really wanted to understand and know how children take the environment, how they understand and understand the whole issue of climate change and environmental conservation, and whether there's something I would do to get them to love the environment, to get them to understand climate change issues much more. So I started this initiative, number one, to nurture children to love nature, and to also teach them how they can grow their own food, how they can clean their own air, and how they can start their own green spaces within their own school compound. And of course, this was inspired by visiting a lot of schools and realizing that these students have to travel a distance to visit the nearby park. They have to travel a distance to visit a forest, when we can create these eco spaces and forests and parks within the school compound. So that is why I started that initiative. And one project that is really exciting for me that we are doing right now is called Fruit Trees for Schools project, where we visit a school and we pick designated corners in the school compound, and there we plant and establish, we plant mixed species of fruit trees. And the reason we are doing mixed species of fruit trees is so that the children can have something nutritious to eat in and out of seasons. And for this particular project, we were giving up to 500 fruit trees per school, all assorted. And we hope to expand to the entire country and expand to reach to more and more schools. I have recently been appointed to the Global Commission on the Economics of Water. This is a global body that is looking at how we govern and manage water resources around the world. And it's also very much science-driven. So a lot of the people sitting in the commission, we have scientists, we have expertise, we have policymakers, and it's actually headed by co-chairs, including the President of Singapore, President Taman, and then we also have the World Trade Organization Executive Director, Ngozi. And this is just to show you that it's purely around how we can influence policy around the issues that are around governing water. And this appointment for me was really a good appointment, because it enables me as a young person within the African continent to bring in these perspectives, but also to bring in the aspect around how we can amplify our work at the grassroots levels to the global stage to help influence and inform policy. And I think also in terms of the social network, in terms of the people within this commission, it's a huge opportunity to be able to address and work on a lot more projects, even within the country, within the continent, so that we can be able to understand the issues of how we govern and manage our water resources. And a lot of times people say that every drop of water counts. And for sure, every drop of water counts, but we have to be able to understand how do we manage our water resources, how do we govern our water resources to ensure that we have enough, not for everybody's greed, but enough for everybody's need.
Be part of the solution.
No pollution.
Be part of the solution.
No pollution.
I have a lot of daily actions that I have personally adopted that I would wish everybody can adopt. They're really simple. One of the things is I have made it within my culture and my life to plant trees anytime I am celebrating, literally anything in my life. Be it birthdays, be it graduation. I can take you to where I planted my graduation trees. I can take you to where I planted my trees for my birthday every year. And I think for me, this could be a culture that we adopt and will help us green our environment, our planet in huge and massive ways. And then the second thing, I've always made it a habit to always bring my own reusable bottle, so that I don't, use plastic bottles to drink water every time. Because when we do that, it means that we are easily protecting the environment, we are easily being good champions of the environment. And then the third habit is always make sure that you are educating people and raising awareness to make sure that other people understand about climate and environmental issues. And the fourth thing, please do not throw trash out of car windows. I get really frustrated when we throw trash out of car windows. And somebody said, oh, it's just one bottle. But then they said it's just one bottle, but saved 1 million people. At the end of the day, all those one plastic bottles become 1 million. And the next thing we realize is that our drainages are clogged, we have rains, and not even cars can access our cities. So let us make it a habit every day to positively impact the environment with the small things that we do, starting within ourselves.